Listen Vision, listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio. Oh! Listen Vision, listen Vision, listen Vision. Listen Vision, listen Vision, listen Vision.
This radio show might make you cry, will probably make you angry, will most assuredly make you laugh, and is guaranteed to make you think. 3-6 Nation Radio, where no topic is too hot, no take is too cold, with Monica Livingston and Sean Parker. 3-6 Nation Radio, in 3, 2, 1.
Woo! 3-6 Nation Radio, I'm here, I'm back. Hello, hello, hello. Where have I been, you ask? I think I heard you say that. Where have I been? I have been on the road, a world tour, you could say, speaking tour with Positive Coaching Alliance. Pat, I'm tired, man. I've just been city to city. I've been on airplanes, boats, trains, cars, but spreading the message of positive coaching to athletic departments. I was in Harlem, Peekskill, New York, went to Norfolk on the base for Veterans Day. We did a big celebration there with the Junior NBA. So I got to hang out with Melissa Van Gorp from the WNBA and Cherokee Parks. They're really, really tall. I mean, I know I'm really, really short, but they really, really, really are tall. But, you know, joining me today is Pat Evans. They call him Big Pat. What's going on, Pat?
Nothing much. How you doing?
How you living?
Oh, I'm living good.
All right,
good. Can't complain.
So we're going to get through this thing today. I'm not sure if Ivan's going to be here with us. Just getting back in the swing of things. So we don't have any special guests. It's really going to be just Pat and I up here chit-chatting your ears off while you're on your commute or at home doing your thing. So we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, we're going to jump right into some sports and going to find out a little bit about who Pat actually is. So this is 3-6 Nation Radio. I'm glad to be back, and we'll be right back.
Come on, hustle. Get your head in the game. Come on.
Are you setting the right example for your kids?
Are you even trying? The ball's down there. What are you doing? You need to get some confidence.
Come on, hustle up, get up there.
Reviewing last year, ad revenue has declined 15%.
Come on, get your head on straight.
Before your child's next game, ask yourself, how would you like it if they copied your behavior?
There are many ways which we can improve.
That's for sure. You need to get some confidence.
Positive Coaching Alliance has valuable tips and tools to help our kids perform their best while keeping sports enjoyable for everyone. Their development zone is a great resource for parents like us. Positive Coaching Alliance, creating better athletes, better people. Learn more at positivecoach.org/Fox Sports.
I love how USAA gives me the peace of mind and the security just like the Marines did. At one point I did change to a different company with car insurance and I was not happy with the customer service. We have switched back over and we feel like we're back home now.
The process through USAA is so effortless that you feel like you're a part of the family.
I love that I can pass a membership to my children and that they can be protected. We're the Williams family and we're USAA members for life.
Call USAA today to talk about your insurance needs.
All right, 3-6 Nation, and we are back. So as I told you before, I'm joined by Big Pat Evans. So Pat, tell people a little bit about you. First off, why they call you Big Pat, other than the obvious?
Yeah, well, I'm 6'5", 275 pounds. So
okay.
Of course, a lot of people think with that size that I was a football player. However, I did not play football. Only Little League. That was the only part of the time I played football, yeah.
Wow, okay, I would have thought that too.
I mean, I was good back then, but when I went to high school, they saw me, first look, basketball.
Right.
And I played basketball ever since. I was a beanpole, though. I was like 6'5", 175 pounds.
Oh, wow, okay,
yeah, so
okay.
I was small, but, you know, over the years I got better. I was always tall, so I was always on the varsity.
Gotcha.
However, I wasn't really good. Mm-hmm. I didn't get good until maybe about my junior or senior year.
Okay.
And then
where'd you go to high school?
Actually, Potomac in Oxon Hill, Maryland.
Oh, all right.
Got a full ride to University of Delaware. Played Delaware for 5 years. First team ever to go to the NCAA tournament. Went there twice. You know, played against Cincinnati the year they went to the Final Four with Nick Van Exel and all those guys.
Oh, so you were playing ball.
Oh, yeah. Then played against Louisville. We only lost them by 4 in the tournament. So I had a lot of success. Played overseas professionally for a few years in Finland, Japan. So, you know, I was I had a pretty successful career.
Talk about that experience. I've never known anyone that, well, I've known people that go overseas, but we never have talked about it. Like, you go over there, like, is English, everybody speaking English, or, like, you feel like a foreigner?
No, surprisingly, everyone speaks English.
Yeah, most people speak English.
And
like,
it's funny because they learn it, like, ever since they're in the second grade. From the second grade on, they speak English. They learn it as a, like, I guess how they have the kids over here, English is a second language.
Right.
That's how it is over there. It's one of their subjects that they have to take all throughout school. And I had I had probably 2 kids that were actually still in high school that were on my team when I was over there. And they spoke it like I was over here.
Really?
Yeah, it's incredible.
Is it McDonald's there? Like, did you find food? It wasn't hard to eat?
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't know if Tiff told you or not, but I'm a pretty good cook myself. She's an excellent cook.
Okay, yeah. She claims she thinks she a chef.
Yeah.
Right. Y'all be having cook-offs?
No. Oh, yeah.
That's what we should do next show.
Yeah.
Right.
No, she does a good thing.
Yeah,
but
she does.
I cooked a lot of my own stuff over there, but it's a whole different lifestyle over there. Whole different lifestyle. They walk everywhere. People go to the store like every day because
can't carry stuff, right?
Yeah,
you go just for what you need, right?
Yeah. So they eat a little healthier, a little cleaner. So it was. I had a great experience over there. Great experience.
Did you meet anybody over there? Anybody special?
Nah, not really. I got a lot of friends over there.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of friends.
That's it. Look at here, Don't put me on the spot, Monica. Right? That was years ago anyway, so it don't really matter. Okay, so then after that, you came back home.
Yeah, actually, I came home, and I actually was supposed to go to Germany after 3 seasons in Finland, and I had a contract signed to play in Germany, and I got hurt like 3 days prior to going there, and I came down. I was playing against Jerome Williams in like a pro-am.
Okay.
And came down on his foot, turned my ankle, and it was like a 3rd-degree sprain.
Right.
And I did that in college, and I had the red shirt the entire year, so I knew the extent of what was going to happen. So I told my agent, he was calling me like daily, like, Pat, they want you. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I can't even walk right now. My ankle is still swell.
Right.
I can't walk. So he was like, all right, I'm gonna call you in about a month's time, see what's going on. Call me with other jobs. Still couldn't do anything. So it like the whole year went like that.
That's when you wish you had broke it, right? And it'd just be easier to
exactly. But everything happens for a reason. I had a chance where I actually could, like a year later, I could have went and played in Cyprus.
Okay.
And but this time my wife got pregnant. She had she was having our son, and she didn't want to go to Cyprus to have a child.
You think?
in
Right.
foreign country.
I'm not even mad at her.
But kids are born over there every day, so it ain't like it's something different.
Little insight to this argument that took place then, right?
So I actually
she won.
Yeah, she did.
Right.
She did. So I actually met a young gentleman who was a battalion chief in the Alexandria Fire Department.
Okay.
And he was telling me about the fire department. He basically said, we work 10 days a month, make 6 figures, and guys in the department got over $1 million in returement. And I was looking around. I said, a firefighter?
I've been doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, I said, okay.
Let me get this angle together.
Let me see. Do I want to play, sign a year-to-year contract when I have someone depending on me now in my life, or do I basically grow up, mature, and get a career? So I did that, and 17 years later,
wow.
Same
so
thing.
When can you retire?
Actually, I can retire in 8 years.
Okay.
But it's more beneficial for me to probably do another 13.
All right, that's cool. So I was going to ask you how you got from playing basketball overseas to, being a firefighter. But that would make complete sense. If someone had approached me about that, I'd be up there putting out fires with you also. So, and you're with Alexandria Fire Department with a good friend of ours and a friend of the show, Tiffany Matthews, who is the owner of the Washington Prodigy women's football team. And Tiffany and I played together with the DC Divas. She was running back, fullback, also when I was a running back. So, and then we've maintained a friendship since playing. Because although Tiff still likes to put on her pads and try to get out there. I mean, she is younger than me, but I'm a reminder that the birthdays keep coming, and she should sit all the way down somewhere. So, how many kids do you have now?
2.
Okay, 2 kids.
Sons in college, and daughters just started middle school.
Any coaching? You doing any coaching?
Yes, I actually coach. We were actually the #1 team in the DMV all last year, Wise High School.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so I'm actually missing practice for this, but hey.
Oh man, we got coach out here.
We got like 10 coaches on the team though, so
for
it's
basketball.
All good. Yeah, exactly.
Y'all ain't playing no games.
Right? No, it's not a game out here.
All right, what's the prospect for this year? You got seniors back?
Actually, ironically, we lost 7 seniors last year. We had a great team. We had 1 loss all season. Unfortunately, it was in the state championship. So, you want to see a successful season. You want to see it to the end. However, it didn't happen for us that way. We ran into a team that was very well coached. They ran a Dean Smith 4 corners like no other team. And, Maryland didn't have last year. They didn't have a shot clock.
Okay.
It's actually implemented this year.
Good.
And that was probably one of the reasons why, because it was a little hard to take. At halftime, we were down like 30-19, just because trying to adjust to their system. We actually, with 3 minutes left in the game, we actually took the lead. We was up 44-39.
Whoa,
so,
Coach, then what happened? What had happened was.
Yeah, I don't like to blame officiating. But,
all right.
But it really was the end of the game was, it was something that was a little hard to take.
Right.
Charge calls, like 3 straight charge calls on us, and we weren't even going to the basket. We were just filling up from the wing to the top of the key. A couple loose balls.
Right. It burns me up when officials get involved in a good competition like that, especially when it's a crucial time. The last couple minutes or a particular play, and let the kids play. As long as no one's getting hurt and they're being respectful of of the rules and playing by the letter rules. But you got to let them play a little bit. You
have to. But I can't leave it all on the officials because we didn't do what we were supposed to do early in the game.
So you didn't execute.
So we get to the point to leave it in the official hands. That's on us.
That's true. That's true, because it never should be in that. So you didn't finish saying, so 7 seniors gone.
Yep, 7 seniors gone, and it's almost like we're the math of public schools, because we had so many kids transferring to our program who are like juniors and seniors already. So
left their programs to come play for you.
Paul VI, Bowie High School. There's been so many other schools. Calvert County, best player in Calvert County. So we had guys just come in. Bladensburg. We have a lot of good guys right now. So I think we basically reloaded. We're going to be a force again.
So then, and that's the thing with high school sports, right? So they're supposed to go to their neighborhood schools. So you got people packing up, moving with U-Hauls and stuff, so they can play for you.
They move into the apartment complexes in our area or buy houses in the area just so they can, play for Wise.
Well, you should be commended. That means they want to be a part of the program.
Yeah,
what are those 7 seniors doing now? Are they all in school?
Yeah, all of them are in school.
Okay.
We had 2 that were actually all met, like high all met. First team and second team all met guys. Those guys, unfortunately, their grades weren't where they supposed to have been, and they are in prep school right now. But hopefully, they'll get to where they can thrive and prosper in a better program.
You know, I mentioned Positive Coaching Alliance earlier, that we go around and we do workshops with coaches, athletes, and athletic directors to kind of set this culture that we believe will make sure that young people have a positive youth experience for all the reasons that, you know, they should, other than the fact, I mean, of course it's fun, but the other thing, we want them to be better athletes, be better people, and you know, you learn a ton of life lessons through sports. So tell me, like, what is the most difficult part about getting your athletes to study, or like some of the success you've had in making sure that they know this is serious? Like, what are you doing to implement, you know, the importance of academics in your program? I always like to get information and then share it with other coaches, and you've had success, obviously.
Yeah,
so.
well, we have Rob Garner that's my best friend. He played at Potomac with me. He actually went to University of Texas, and then
that's why I know the name. Okay.
Then he transferred to Delaware with me.
Okay.
So we've been together, you know, basically our whole lives.
Okay.
And so he's been the head coach. We coached together at Friendly High School and now at Wise. So we've been coaching together for like 10, 11 years, playing together for forever.
Right.
And
so you guys know what you're going to do. You finish each other's sentences. You anticipate.
Exactly.
Right, okay.
Exactly. And we have a program that's just – he actually should be in college. He should be coaching college right now, because the way we run the program is second to none. Study hall, like right now, they're actually in study hall right now. So we have a study hall hour and a half where they're going to get
– They do that first before practice.
Before we even start anything else in practice. So them being in study hall is it's actually a big goal for us. We have, you know, how people have, all right, who's going to be the leading scorer, who's going to be the leading rebounder, leading assist. We also have who's going to have the highest GPA on the team.
So you're taking academic stats.
Yes,
also.
Right now. Yeah, Fred Crowell, one of our players, he has a 3.75. He's leading right now.
Shout out to Fred. What's going on? 3-point.
So hopefully, you know, these we try to get them competitive on that academic side as well as the athletic side.
Well, that's good. That's good. All right, Coach. So speaking of basketball, we're going to take a look. I think we're going to go to a quick commercial. Jacob's we'll come back in with the UCLA player press conference. We'll show a little bit about that, and then I'm interested to see your take on this entire thing, Coach, and what you think. So Big Pat's going to weigh in on the UCLA sunglass fiasco when we come right back. This is 3-6 Nation Radio.
I want to start off by saying how embarrassed and ashamed I am for disappointing my family, my teammates, my coaches, and the entire UCLA community. I feel terrible, and I'm sorry to everybody who I've let down. With that being said, I take full responsibility for the mistake I have made, shoplifting. I know that this goes beyond me letting my school down, but I've let the entire country down. Before I thank everybody who worked so incredibly hard to help us return home safely, I want to thank the Chinese police and the government for taking care of us and treating us well during our time there. To President Trump and the United States government, thank you for taking the time to intervene on our behalf. We really appreciate you helping us out. Thank you to all the Pac-12 representatives for all of your time and support. Thank you, Dan Guerrero, for sticking by our sides and doing whatever you could to help us through this. Thank you, Chris Carlson, for taking the time out of your schedule to stay with us the entire time and guide us every step of the way. To Doug Erickson, thank you for also staying with us and giving us guidance with everything. To my teammates, thank you for being there for us throughout the process. You guys mean so much to me. To Coach Alford, Coach Tyus, Coach Broussard, Coach Grace, thank you for all of your support. You guys have always believed in me, not only as a basketball player, but also as a person. I'm sorry for letting you down. Lastly, to my family, my mom and dad, you guys have raised me to be smart and always make the right choices. You never left my side, and it hurts me the most that I disappointed and embarrassed you. To my younger brother, Ben, this is not the example that I want to set for you. But from here on out, I promise that I will be the best role model I can be for you to look up to. I've been looking forward to being a UCLA Bruin since I was young. The alumni here has set such a high standard for both academically and athletically. And as a UCLA student athlete, I'm disappointed in myself that I failed to live up to that. I can only hope that my actions, my words, my hard work in the weeks to come will prove to my coaches, my teammates, and our fans that I am more capable of meeting that high standard. Away from the court, I will work especially hard in the classroom to show that I can be an outstanding representative of this incredible university, a place that is so important to many people around the world. Again, thank you to everybody who has been there and expressed concern for me and my safety this past week. I can assure you that I will never do anything again to jeopardize UCLA's reputation and as my own. Go Bruins. Thank you.
Okay, so that was part of the press conference. That it seemed like we were joking here when we weren't on mic, you guys, about the fact that it seemed like the hardest part that he had to deliver that was thanking President Trump. That would have been the part where I would have been stumbling. I'd have been like, thank you. Right? So what do you think about this whole ordeal, man? This is a mess.
You know what? I chalk it up to 3 young guys just being stupid.
Stupid. It's nothing else. It's just pure stupidity. You know everybody's watching you.
Exactly.
You in China.
We had an opportunity to play overseas when I was in college, and I mean that's something you wouldn't even think of.
Right.
You know, you're in a foreign country, like pretty much the first time for a lot of us.
Right.
And it's just like, you know, let's enjoy the culture. Let's enjoy what this place is all about. And these guys are over here stealing sunglasses, you know, out of a Louis Vuitton shop. It's just.
Yeah, not Target.
Yeah.
Louis Vuitton shop.
Yeah,
Target, they could have got 4 pairs. It's 3, but 1 pair.
I mean, you know, LiAngelo got his brothers in the NBA. His second draft.
Right.
He could have bought all the UCLA
Everybody.
dudes.
Exactly.
Well, actually, he couldn't because that would have been a USA rules.
Right. Violation.
NCAA rules violation. But, you know, it could have somehow, you know, he could have got that out. So I just think it was just something stupid that they did on their part, and they definitely wasn't thinking. But then I put myself back at being an 18-year-old young man without a whole lot of guidance. I mean, everyone does dumb things.
All right, so you're the coach of UCLA. These are your players. What are you doing?
I'm giving them an indefinite suspension to let them know and make them know that this was something that you basically put our whole university on blast, and gave it a negative connotation. Yeah. I'm actually sending them out doing community service. Okay. I'm getting them in the neighborhood, especially your neighborhoods where young black males are, and showing them and preaching them, look, this is something we did that was totally stupid. Right. This could actually ruin our lives, our careers, and it was a big mistake on our part. You know, don't let it happen again in your sake. So I would do a lot of pushing of that just to get these guys rounded. I think they all are embarrassed, and they have no other choice but to be embarrassed about it. So, and probably in a roundabout way, this probably makes them a little more. It may help them out in the long run. They may be, you know, more focused on their craft.
Right. Yeah, this is character building opportunity right here.
Exactly.
If it's, you know, if they get the right people involved and they help them deal with the fallout, then it absolutely could be character building. Write a book about it later and sell that and be a good example to young people. I just couldn't believe how stupid it was. I also couldn't believe how Ball Sr. was so quiet.
Exactly.
For the first time ever.
Yes.
You know, I thought, did he lose his phone? He wasn't tweeting nothing. He wasn't like, I got nervous. I thought, well, did they lock him up? Was he over there? Because he was certainly quiet compared to how he normally is.
You know, it's funny. It has to be somewhere in him, it has to be just eating at him, because he built this brand off a lot of hype.
Right.
Now, he could spin this and hype it up, you know, make fun of it, throw commercials out with, you know, put 3B on the map somehow, and, you know, they were really trying to steal a 3B, you know, product. But, you know, But, it's do something, to come out, because we all know you're the most vocal guy out there.
Right.
Sure. Anytime you can say your son is better than Steph Curry and everything else, now you're silent on this issue. Stay the course.
Yeah. If you're gonna talk.
Yeah, you
right?
got
Talk
this notoriety
all the
on
time.
that. Stay the course.
And it's been super silent. So anyway, I just want to know what you thought about that. So what do you got for us today? What sports stories you got for us today? What's big? What's going on?
Well, I mean, tonight you got a huge game coming on.
That?
The Kyrie and the Celtics,
right?
Best record in the NBA, going against the Warriors, who have the second best record in the NBA. I mean, that's huge.
What you think's gonna happen?
I think the Warriors are going to beat them by a lot.
Me too. I don't think it's going to be even as close as some people are predicting or think. I just don't.
Well, the thing is, what I've seen is that, to me, Brad Stevens is probably the best coach in the NBA, other than Popovich.
Yeah.
I mean, Greg Popovich has just been doing this for a long time. I mean,
I like Brad's style. I mean, like he's got a little swag. I like his style, and he's able to communicate with a varying group of his players. Like, I mean, he's a good dude. He's also with Positive Coaching Alliance as one of our advisory board members. So I've had the opportunity to watch some of his videos and some of his speeches and stuff. And he's a good dude. But go ahead, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, but if you just saw what he's doing, first night they lose Gordon Hayward.
Mm-hmm.
He's out for the season. Tragic. Everything everybody saw about that was, wow, I can't believe this happened. And they're probably a little stunned, shell-shocked. They lose that game, they lose the next game, and then haven't lost since.
Right.
And during that time, Al Horford missed a game.
Oh, yeah.
Kyrie missed 2 games. So you can't just say, Kyrie came and made this whole thing. No, that's all Brad Stevens. He's been probably the linchpin on everything. I mean, of course, you got
when you have that,
Tatum and those guys as well.
The personnel is changing. All the time, and then it's still the coaches remain the same. The coach finally should get some credit. It's not always
4 players returned from last year's team. Just 4.
That's not a lot.
Even though you were the best team, well, not the best team, but the number 1 team in the East. Because we know Cleveland is still the best team, and honestly, I still believe Cleveland is still the best team right now, even though the Celtics have a better record.
Right.
I just think soon as Cleveland get Isaiah back, is a wrap. I mean, they're doing things right now without.
I'm so tired of them.
It is, and everybody is.
I'm so tired of them.
But
I'm tired of
LeBron keeps doing things that just makes people like, you gotta respect the man.
So
you gotta respect
him. But I mean, he just makes me sleepy. Right. We'll talk about my Redskins, man.
Oh my God.
Sheesh.
Man, that hurts me to my heart every time.
Who are you telling? Just can't get right.
I just don't understand it.
It's got to be a culture thing, right? It's a culture thing. I don't even know. We've had great players. I don't get it. I just really don't.
Well, we have the talent. I mean, there's no question.
And we've had talent.
My thing is, I'm not a big Jay Gruden fan.
Right.
He had the running game is pretty much non-existent since he's been there. Passing game is great, and although there's a lot of short stuff that the guys take, long distance. I mean, if you look at it, Chris Thompson is our leading receiver as a running back.
That's crazy.
So,
yeah, he's leading in rushing yards and in receptions.
Yes, exactly, as a running back. So, I mean, you can blame that on offensive line. You can blame it on
play calling.
Yeah, play calling is a big part of it because even if you look back when he was coaching the Bengals or the offensive coordinator of the Bengals,
heavy run, heavy pass game,
heavy pass game out of the backfield.
Yeah.
So
I didn't think about that.
And they had a power game prior to him coming.
Right.
But as soon as he got to Giovanni Bernard was the lead running back.
Yeah, I wish he would talk to his brother every day before. Like I would be on the phone.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, bruh, what should I be doing?
Well, he was detrimental to Kirk's career. I mean, Kirk was the one who went to him, I guess, for that whole summer, and that's how his game got extremely better because, let's be honest, Kirk wasn't that great.
I know. I mean, he had a hell of a summer.
Yeah.
He really did, And I think also knowing that the team you know, wanted him, and it was going to be his team. Also, from a psychological standpoint for an athlete, probably helped him take some ownership over his, you know, his summer workouts and wanting to work hard and play better also. Because, you know, you gotta have, as you know, you gotta have your mind right too, not just your body and your mechanics.
Exactly.
You know, and
Exactly.
so I think that helped. And people, I mean, I know I felt like, okay, he's here. I mean, like, all right now. I mean, that's my quarterback. You know, and it took me a while to get there.
Oh no, I'm still getting there.
Right.
I'm not there yet. My thing is that I don't want them to pay an extremely large amount of money, even though I know that's the market, that's the going rate, that's what's going on. But to me, Kirk hasn't shown that like all his receivers have to be open for him to complete that pass. Yeah. And if they're not open, they're making a hell of an adjustment just to make the catch. Yeah. So to me, he's not like a Drew Brees or, you know, and I know Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, those are like your pinnacles.
I mean, Kurt's a backup quarterback. I've always felt him as like a starting backup quarterback. I mean, I love him to death as a person, and of course I want him to do well, but I mean, you know, Super Bowl next season, I guess. But I think of him as that. Speaking of quarterbacks, what is your take, Coach Pat, on old Colin Kaepernick?
Oh, that's probably one of the biggest travesties in the NFL. Like when I look around and see some of these guys who are
bums
playing quarterback now,
yeah, right,
and this guy can't even
get a job,
get a sniff, right, can't even walk on a practice squad. You know, it's like, come on now, he's been to a Super Bowl, he's led his team to a Super Bowl. Your team got gutted the very next year. I mean, everybody retired off that team.
That was done, yeah.
And you expected the same success? No, you lost 13 players. Wow. 13 players out of your starters. And then want to, you know, say, okay, well, he's not doing as well. No, he's a good quarterback. Right. You know, if you look at it, nobody's having success with him. They just won their first game last week.
Now, let me ask you, as a high school coach, what if your players came to you and said, during the national anthem, we want to kneel?
To me, I'm letting them do it. I mean, I'm letting them, because these are young people as well, and you have to let them express their freedom of speech if they're doing it in a tactful way. Right. If they come out doing something tacky and tasteless, then no, you got to draw a line somewhere.
Chewing gum and eating while it's right.
Hey,
just
if they come to me and say this is why I want to do it, and it's a good reason, a good cause, by all means, go ahead, do it.
All right. No backlash from the parents. You're not worried about this?
I'm not worried about it. Look, we deal with parents all the time because every parent think that their kid is the next NBA player and everything, and you pretty much got to show them, look, they have a role on this team. This is where they're going to go, and this is how we're going to do it. You know, you're a parent. Let us coach.
Right, that's right. It's single goal. They should just concentrate on their kids and let you coach. We say that also in the parent workshop that I actually did just this weekend. All right, so look, we'll be right back. Jacob, take us to break. We'll come back, and we're going to change gears a little bit, put sports on the back burner, and talk about a little bit about what's going on in entertainment news and a little bit of politics. It's 3-6 Nation. We'll be right back.
If you can play, you can play.
If you can play, you can play.
If you can play, you can play.
We are all
champions.
We are all
Red Hawks.
Red Hawk
For life.
Our staff, coaches, and student athletes welcome students of all races, religions, genders, sexual orientation, and national origin. We advocate and support the LGBTQ community.
We play
together.
We win together.
If you can play,
you can play.
At Montclair State University, if you can play, you can play.
If you can play, you can play.
If you can play, you can play.
Come on, hustle, 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 hustle. Get your head in the game. Come on.
Are you setting the right example for your kids?
Are you even trying? The ball's down there. What are you doing? You need to get some confidence.
Come on, hustle up, get up there.
Reviewing last year, ad revenue has declined 15%.
Come on, get your head on straight.
Before your child's next game, ask yourself, how would you like it if they copied your behavior?
There are many ways which we can improve.
That's for sure. You need to get some confidence.
Positive Coaching Alliance has valuable tips and tools to help our kids perform their best while keeping sports enjoyable for everyone. Their development zone is a great resource for parents like us. Positive Coaching Alliance, creating better athletes, better people. Learn more at positivecoach.org/Fox Sports.
Hey, all right, 360 Nation, we are back. So, Pat, what's up with all this sexual abuse and misconduct everywhere? Hollywood, the house floor. I mean, men just run around, grab. That's how y'all doing out here? Y'all just run around groping and grabbing and running off?
Hey, some of us don't have to do that, you know. But it's just crazy. I mean, we had this discussion in the firehouse, and it's just like, you know what? You know, if you look at Weinstein, you're like, okay, maybe he has to do stuff like that.
Right, I know.
Because it's not going to be too many.
I was like, bruh, he ain't going to have he has to. Somebody walk by, his opportunity is high. He better get it while he can, right, and just settle out of court.
Exactly. It's just crazy, though. Like, I mean, even like the amount of like male homosexuality stuff that's been coming out as well. It's just like, now all of a sudden everything is coming out. It's just because it's the popular thing to do right now.
You got Terry Crews walking around, you know, shaking his boobs, talking about somebody grabbed him, right? Exactly. And meanwhile, it's so unfair because everybody's like, "Oh, come on, Terry, come on," you know, he's getting pummeled like with memes and stuff, and it's such a double, like, what do you call that?
Double standard.
Yeah, double standard, right?
Because
when a woman does it, we're supposed to be all whatever. Terry come to us, he crying, telling us he got groped and grabbed right in front of his wife, and our first reaction is, man, what's wrong with you? Right? So it certainly is interesting, but I'm not surprised. I have to tell you, I'm not surprised. I think that when you find, you know, I mean, unfortunately, also white men that are in power tend to think that they can do whatever they want. And when your president openly says, you know, he run around grabbing people before he got elected.
Exactly.
What the hell you think supposed to happen after that?
And it was okay. But you know what's funny, because I've always known about that side, because when I was younger, still playing and stuff, they actually I was approached like for modeling and stuff like that, and a lot of people were telling me that, you know, a lot of those designers and stuff are you know, gay men, and the only way you can get into that modeling industry is, you know, to mess with those guys. So it's just like, okay, this is something that
the whole industry is, you know, and that's the thing. Like, I was so mad at Kevin Spacey, he gonna try to tie in pedophilia with being gay. I'm like, they don't have nothing to do with each other, bro. You nasty. They don't have nothing to do with, you know, who you like, who you prefer sexually. That's a child. That's completely different. But the whole industry, like you said, if you want to be, it's the same thing that the women have been going through. I think now what you're alluding to is that, you know, when you were approached, that guys have been going through it also. It just depends on, you know, if you want to get ahead, you sleeping with somebody, or you have to, you know, have a good agent or do something different or be lucky, you know, I guess, because, and then you've got people that are groping everybody. They groping men and women. They just like, it's Monday, I'm going to grope him. Tuesday, I'm going to grope her. Like,
it's funny. Like they said, Strom Thurmond, you know, when he was a senator, you know, the women knew, Strom's coming around, so
stay away from him.
It's like, okay, if you know this type of stuff, I mean, when are you going to say something?
Right. And now, what's her name? How you say her last name, Jacob? The actress, you know, that started this whole thing with Harvey Weinstein. She's was in Virginia today, because now they said that, you know, she had drug charges when she was at Reagan National. She left her wallet, I think, in the bathroom, and there was cocaine found in it. And I'm just like, this was in February.
Well,
so they didn't do anything about it until this all popped off. Now we want to bring charges against her for something she left on the plane.
Well, that's a common. That's what they do. I mean, even like when like the Black Lives Matter movements go on, like soon as there's another black male shot or a black person shot, period, now they want to bring up all the negative things they've done. So that's a common play where they're going to step in and, hey, look, I'm not that bad because this person was bad too. So it's like, come on, that's.
Unfortunately, I feel for her, but I mean, a little part of me was kind of happy that the mugshot that they are showing of her is how I often feel they do a lot of, especially black men. Like I'm listening to I think it's called The Mansion Murders, about the murder. It's a podcast that Sarah Fraser and Fox 5 does, and it's about that mansion in Northwest where the guys, the whole family was killed brutalized. The guy ordered a pizza. They got DNA off the pizza. There was $40,000 dropped off, and this Porsche, then this other guy. It's really, so I'm listening to it. My point is, the one guy that they have arrested for this, I know exactly what his mugshot looks like while I'm doing it. Yeah. They showed other pictures of this brother. I mean, he was handsome. Yeah, exactly. He was good. But the one picture, you like, that's the only picture this man ever took. He looked crazy as hell and like a full-blown criminal. You know, and they got her looking crazy too. Her mouth open. They got her looking kind of high. They've done something with the lighting. I mean, I'm like, dang.
Yeah, I mean, it's no different from like when James Brown mugshot.
Oh yeah, that was a classic.
I mean, you got a lot
Hair
of
was
them.
Crazy.
That is just this crazy. Nick Nolte.
Right. Oh yeah, Nick Nolte. But Nick Nolte be looking like that on the regular though. Like,
you're right about that.
That Monday through Friday picture right there with Nick, man.
You're right about that. But
is he dead? Is Nick Nolte dead?
I don't think so.
Jacob, you know. Jacob doesn't know. Nick Nolte's dead. Blue Chips, right? When he in that?
Chips,
that was a good movie, though, man. I love Blue Chips. That thing gets you hyped.
Everything imaginable that could go wrong in the
happened.
Right. Now, I'm going to tell you, all that stuff has happened before. Not in one program, though. It's been a whole bunch of programs.
Right. That's
but
like
Rick Pitino may be experiencing that right now.
That's a mess.
Yeah,
Goodness.
Exactly.
I mean, seems like everybody, like, people are coming after people now. It's like, you know, everything that you do eventually comes to the light, though, I guess, at some point. You're talking about Blue Chips. But do you remember, probably nobody remembers this, the Playmakers?
Yes.
It was a football thing that HBO and the NFL shut it down and got it pulled off. That was a great show. And it made me think of that when you said these things really happen, because I don't think everything happened on that team also like that, but it all did happen
exactly.
in the NFL. So, man, it's crazy. I don't even know, but I guess we're going to have to hang in there. What about your boy Tyree? Do you know what's going on with Tyree? As a black man, he's crying a lot, talking about his child, and he's having some difficulties. And I just wanted to know, Coach Pat, if you thought that Tyree should continue crying, or should we be more sensitive to him, or should we let The Rock whip his ass?
And, you know what, man? I really. A friend of Tiff and I was sending me all these things with Tyrese Gibson in there, and I'm just like, man, what are they talking about? What is this going on? Then I actually looked at it and saw it, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? Are you for real?
I think he's having some mental health issues. Well, I mean, he's been off for a minute.
Well, you know, this opioid epidemic is strong, and I think Tyree might be.
Tyree, put the pills down. Coach Pat said, put the pills down. Okay, right.
But it's just crazy. I heard that he was really upset because they're doing the spinoff of the Fast and Furious series with The Rock.
Right.
And The Rock signed and is going to do it. And Tyrese is like, okay, look, you're messing up our franchise.
Right.
We all were supposed to make money together. And The Rock was like, look, I'm The Rock.
Right, exactly.
I'm big, so I can go and do what I want to do. And Tyrese, you know, sorry about your luck.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I even watched but one or two of those anyway. I mean, at some point, how many times can you drive fast in a car with wheels and a hot chick and over and over? I mean,
it's kind of funny because they've had so many, but it seems like everyone gets better.
Okay.
Yeah, my son is a big car enthusiast. He's actually going to school in Indianapolis right now for motorsport engineering.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So yeah, he didn't go the athletic route.
Okay,
no, that's my daughter.
Though. That's hot though, because and then he can go work at NASCAR.
Yeah, well, he's not trying to do NASCAR. He's more like in the he's like the European racing circuit.
Oh, okay.
You know, closed wheel. You know, those type of.
Well, they need us over there. They need minorities.
Yeah, exactly.
I know NASCAR
racing,
has a
period needs minorities.
I know NASCAR has a really good minority recruiting program.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they hip him to that. But
we actually took him for his graduation because he just graduated high school in the past spring.
Okay.
And I took him to his first NASCAR event, which was in Dover, Delaware. And we were there, and we had backstage passes, got into the pit passes and everything, and we're meeting all types of young men who were former football players.
Yeah, that's
young
what they
black males.
Recruiting. I saw HBO Real Sports or something, and NASCAR had targeted retired NFL players to get them, involved. So yeah, that is cool. So how many of us were at the NASCAR?
One too
If y'all
many.
got separated, you'd be like,
I
I'm
could
right
probably-
here,
I could
son. I'm
probably,
right here.
Probably count all in one hand.
Yeah, they ain't really, I think, driving fast in a circle.
But it was a great event.
Yeah,
I liked it.
They do put on it's an event. That's the thing. There's a lot of other stuff going on, and
the one thing too, even in the race, you don't realize how fast those cars really are going until you actually sit there and experience. Like, I mean, they go past, and it's just like it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy how fast they go.
Real dangerous too.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's a wrap right here. We'll come back with the calendar. Tell you guys what you should be doing this weekend in the DMV. It's 36 Nation Radio. We'll be right back.
I love how USAA gives me the peace of mind and the security just like the Marines did. At one point I did change to a different company with car insurance and I was not happy with the customer service. We have switched back over and we feel like we're back home now.
The process through USAA is so effortless that you feel like you're a part of the family.
I love that I can pass a membership to my children and that they can be protected. We're the Williams family and we're USAA members for life.
Call USAA today to talk about your insurance needs.
If you can play, you can play.
If you can play,
You can play.
If you can play, you can play.
We are all
champions.
We are all
Red Hawks.
Red Hawk.
For life.
Our staff, coaches, and student athletes welcome students of all races, religions, genders, sexual orientation, and national origin. We advocate and support the LGBTQ community.
We play.
Together.
We win
together.
If you can play,
You can play.
At Montclair State University, if you can play, you can play.
if you can play, you can play.
If you can play, you can play.
All right, let me tell you, Jacob and Pat, what you guys can get into this weekend. The 13 things you can do in Washington, D.C. I don't know how much partying this would be or like how much fun you want to have, but the Museum of the Bible is having their grand opening. So, hallelujah, hallelujah. You can get your tickets online. It's about 400,000 square feet. So it's going to be huge. I think it's by the Indian Museum right there on the off of Pennsylvania Avenue. And yeah, you can go and learn about the Bible and their videos and all that kind of stuff. And it's free. You know, it's on the National Mall. Tickets, you can get tickets online, and it opens at 10 a.m. Museum of the Bible is at 404th Street in Southwest. You've got this is more along my lines here. DC Cocktail Week. So a dozen of the restaurants in this area got together, and they're doing different infused cocktails and specialty cocktails. I think you can buy tickets and then just go to these restaurants and get that cocktail of the day. It's all local distilleries here, so that's a good thing, like Green Hat. And yeah, so other than your drinks, you know, it's free to attend that. So I think I would definitely be participating in DC Cocktail Week. Can't believe I left my cocktail today. Normally I have one on the show, so sorry, Pat, that you didn't get to experience that, but you probably had practice or something.
Yeah,
practice,
I'm good.
practice. We're talking about practice. And then it is a holiday in the park at Six Flags. So just like they do Halloween, they dress up Six Flags with Christmas lights and all that kind of stuff. No, you don't have no kids to take. Like Pat's like, yeah, no, that's not gonna be my thing.
I never knew they did it.
And yeah, me neither. I think that's new. Yeah. I knew about the Halloween thing, but I never knew about the that thing, the Christmas thing. And then there's a bunch of other art stuff going on. National Opera, of course, has stuff, you know, each and every weekend. Some stuff at the 930 Club. Lady Gaga is also coming to Capital One Arena on Sunday night. I haven't seen Lady Gaga do anything in a long time. Is Vincent Herbert still her manager? Vincent ain't nobody's manager right now. Poor Vincent and Tamar.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
You believe the rumors? You think Vince was beating on Tamar? Tamar's mouth make you want to kind of shake her a little bit, though. I mean, it's wrong. It's wrong. Let me just go ahead and say that. It's wrong. But I could see where she would push you. You would just be like, shut up.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, I don't even see him.
I don't have him that either.
because I don't think anything physical.
Yeah, right. He ain't making no sudden moves, right?
Exactly.
Like, here's the thing. If Vince want to beat your like, you can get away.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if he want to walk over to him so he can smack me, I'm be like, Vince, go ahead, stop playing. And then just walk away, right?
exactly.
You don't even have to slight jog. Just a brisk walk, and you can get away from Vince. And so, yeah, that's going to be interesting how that plays out. And all the stuff that she's always said about being abused previously and never by him, I think is going to come back to bite her because she is reporting him as being so different than the other relationships that she had. And so now you're going to put all that back on him, and you got all these sisters, and nobody's told anybody.
It's just that whole family is just strange to me. You know, and the funny thing is they're right here, they're local, they're from Glen Burnie, Maryland,
sure
and it's just
right.
like, you know, it's it's just strange. Like, just even watching the show and some of the things that happen to come about, you're like, okay, normal people don't act like this.
No, they don't. They don't.
So
they're a little off anyway.
Is this for the show, or is it?
Right. It does seem to be a little bit over the top. Maybe they're trying to be the Black Kardashians. I don't know. But their paycheck don't look the same. I can tell you that. Kardashians are paid. And on that note, Jacob, are we out of time? Oh, we are out of time. We are out of time. Go see Lady Gaga. Coach Pat. Big Pat Evans, thank you for joining me. No man, keep coming back. We're going to wake this show up a little bit next week with Ivan. You'll get to meet him. I've got an athlete scheduled, a boxer, female boxer that actually plays for the DC Divas that hopefully is going to come on our show next week. And maybe you and her can, you know, box. I'll just sit here and y'all go over there and throw some hands. But, yes, come back next Thursday. We'd love to have you again. Everybody out there, thank you for joining 36 Nation Radio. I am Monica Livingston with my co-host, Pat. Pat, you want to give any shout-outs to anybody?
No, I'm good for right now.
All right, we'll be back. Take care, guys. See you next week.
Tonight